next in the 240. Now the cars get a little bit more modern, a little bit faster, exotic in Group A, and have a look at the 351 GTHO off the front of this field. That is something special. It makes oodles and oodles of horsepower. It's Michael Eden at the wheel of it, and he's in the front as they head into Flexiplas for the first time. Car number 42 through in second place is Nick Thomas and the 911 Porsche. And there is the nemesis of the GTHO. This is Jeff Judd in the Z28 Chevy Camaro. And Jeff Judd, a little bit like Trevor Crowe, drives just about anything he can get his hands on. And look at that, the crowd favourite, no doubt about it. That is the GTHO of Michael Eden. We're on board here with a very famous car. This is the BMW 635 of Jim Bolt. Famous for Jim driving it, of course, but more famous for the likes of Frank Gardner, Jim Richards, Denny Holm. They've all had a go. This one decked out in the John Player Special livery, the beautiful black and gold combination. And just up ahead of him is Gary Cliff in the Metro. The GTHO, the Shaker, they called them. Alan Moffat providing a lineage for these cars at the Bathurst 1000s. They could do the standing quarter mile in under 14 seconds when they came out in the 70s. That was a phenomenal time. Well, this is a phenomenal car. This is Gary Cliff's MG Metro 6R4, four-wheel drive. So probably not best suited to the conditions we've got here at Ruapuna. And you get the feeling that the Porsche is just biding his time here. Maybe he's a little bit worried about passing the Big Falcon. Nick Thomas in the 911 coming through in second place. In third, it's Alan Scott. And Dennis Chapman in there as well in his BMW 318i. So he is come to play in this lead bunch as well. Down the front straight they go now, and it is Nick Thomas in the front in the 911 Porsche. The GTHO Falcon through in second. And I think Dennis Chapman might have got up in front of Alan Scott to move through into third. We'll keep an eye on that. Out of Flexiplas they go. Oh, and Chapman goes a little bit wide. And through the infield turns, we've got a new race leader, and it is the Porsche of Nick Thomas. And he's got a big lead now on the Falcon. In third place, it still is Alan Scott. Here comes Chapman again, challenging hard. The Snitzer just up in front of him, car number 1. And that is Warren Good. We're on board here with the 351. And you'll see in a minute just why they're called the GTHO Shaker. Look at the air scoop on the bonnet. It shakes independent of the bonnet. It was mounted up on rubber. That's where they got the nickname, the Shaker, the GTHO Falcon of Michael Eden. There he is, getting monstered now by Dennis Chapman in the BMW. But it certainly isn't over. Further down the field for the Miners, Dennis Chapman slips up the inside of the GTHO Falcon of Michael Eden. Maybe he's in tyre trouble. Mega horsepower from the Ford V8, and it's been very sideways right throughout the sprint distance race. Nick Thomas out in command of this one. Chapman through into second place. This is the car he's taken to Australia. In fact, he took it to Australia for the Bathurst 24-hour race, and it's all too much for Michael Eden, and round he goes in the 351 Falcon in a shower of dust as the checkered flag comes out and the race leader becomes the winner. That is Nick Thomas. In second place it is Dennis Chapman, and in third it'll be Alan Scott in the Mazda. Now the Skope Classic is all about the cars, but it's also all about the drivers. Let's meet some of them.
This is the first of the JPS BMW Group A 635 cars built by Frank Gardner's organisation in Australia. Built in 1982, first raced in 83. It was the first of a few of the similar cars built. Group C configuration originally, and then converted to Group A in 1985 when Group A came to Australasia. It's a bit of a who's who of Australasian touring car racing with Denny Holm, Jim Richards, Tony Longhurst, Fury, Gardner himself. Yeah, quite a list actually.
Well, the car's an MG Metro 6R4 Group B factory car. They're four-wheel drive. They're V6 Cosworth 24 valve. This particular car's chassis 166. It was run by Mark Duez as a recce car, not as a full rally car, in the European tarmac rounds. Then it was of course owned by MG then, so then they put John Watson, the Formula 1 driver, in it for 2 or 3 rounds, and he promptly popped it on its lid. So they rebodied it, and it did a couple more events. They went into the MG Museum at Brooklands Technology Park for a period of time. Then John Potter in Australia purchased it, bought it here and did our Targa in 96. The last time anyone would have seen it in New Zealand would be 96. I bought it then off John, and it's been in my garage ever since, so we thought we'd better bring it out and have a play with it. So, yeah, it's not exactly suited to the circuit with a four-wheel drive push, but it's a hell of a lot of fun.